You know, the NHL is honestly so funny that sometimes they just wait for one trade to drop, for another one to drop, or a signing to drop for another player to get traded. And the NHL offseason, I don't know about you guys in your opinion, it's just been a little bit slow. It hasn't really, I mean, the Montreal Canadiens made like a big trade. But the problem is sometimes you're waiting for one trade to happen for the other to happen. But guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to please hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me. Now, I don't know about you guys, but honestly, I've been waiting for a number of trades to happen. Like, are there any centers that are going to, shake loose? We still have, Marco Rossi. We still have, McTavish. We still have trades. We still have Rasmus Anderson, who has refused to not get traded, but to sign with the other teams, which mean the teams don't want to give up assets for him, which honestly kind of sucks for Flames fans, but it is what it is. I guess that's just how it is, and I'm hoping that they get a haul for him, but we'll see. Now, what we got really interested information that Dougie Hamilton is connected to Rasmus Anderson, but not necessarily in the way that you think. Quote, Dougie Hamilton trade being held up. James Nichols of the New Jersey Hockey Now says that Dougie Hamilton trade out of New Jersey is potentially being held up by uncertainty surrounding Erik Karlsson and one Rasmus Anderson. Calling the two defensemen a pair of wild cards, it sounds like teams are biting on Hamilton, whose contract recently shifted from a full no move to a 10-team no trade clause until they know what's happening with the other two blue liners. The Devils are tight against a salary cap. They want to sign Luke Hughes to an 8-year extension. They likely need to trade Hamilton first, which is posing a bit of an issue. So my take on this is very simple. There must be a lot of teams that are interested in Rasmus Anderson in general, but unfortunately, they want to see what happens with him first, both for valuation, so to see what Rasmus Anderson's going to get, so what they have to give up. Like, a lot of this could be because of valuation. So, you know what I mean? Like, if Rasmus Anderson gets a bucket load, or Erik Karlsson gets a bucket load, then Dougie Hamilton may have to get a lot as well, and then they go from there. Or there's a lot of teams that are just biting on Rasmus Anderson. I honestly think it's the second. I think that Rasmus Anderson has actually garnered a lot of attention, but his not wanting to sign with other teams has unfortunately held this up for Flames fans. Now, shifting gears, Nazem Kadri has been linked to the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. I don't know. I kind of threw, cold water on it myself by saying that, I don't know why Flames would want to get rid of that. I honestly don't even know if any centers are going to get traded unless the team can't re-sign them. I think it's possible that Rossi and McTavish could move just simply because, they might not be able to actually get them signed. That just might be a complex situation there, right? Now, this is more cold water that's been poured on the Nazem Kadri stuff by insider Frank Cervalli. So here we have a quote, "You've heard Nazem Kadri linked to the Toronto Maple Leafs. You had heard him linked to the Montreal Canadiens. You've heard him linked to a lot of different places. How about we just keep the link with the Calgary Flames? He's done just about everything they've asked, and they're not interested in moving him." This is interesting, though, because from Nazem Kadri's perspective, he does seem to at least be interested in talking about a trade. We saw him on that one, I can't remember the podcast that he was on, but he was like, hey, let's talk about the trade rumors, essentially. Now, that could be just Nazem Kadri's personality. That's just kind of how he is. He just has always been like that. But unfortunately, it does not look that this player is going to be moved. I think it's probably smart for the Calgary Flames just to keep him, especially because, he's a center. He can play center. Yes, his contract might not be the best. He might be aging, but at the end of the day, he is a centerman, and that holds massive, massive value in the NHL. Now, on to other Calgary Flames news. We still have, quote, Zary without a contract. You can't help but wonder if Zary is starting to get restless. The Flames have worked out extensions for several of their other restricted free agents, Matt Coronado, Adam Klapka, Morgan Frost, Kevin Ball, Rory Cairns, Yan Kuznetsov, Jeremy Poirier, but Zary still remains without a deal in place. Zary had a frustrating 24-25 season as he was limited to just 54 games due to injury. That said, he still has quite an effect. He's been quite an effective when healthy, and is a player the Flames need to rely upon heavily in 25-26, making it imperative that they are able to work out a deal with him before the season begins. So it is true that, I mean, there's still RFAs that aren't signed. Just to be fair to this, there's still RFAs that aren't signed. I still think they're going to get Zary done 100%. One thing that I'm very, very interested in, you know what, I'll make this the question of the video, is what exactly do you think that Zary is going to get? This is going to be really interesting, the number that he's going to get, and he has a bit of injury history as well, and I'm sitting here being like, what does this guy get? Does he get like a short-term contract? Like, I actually think that when it comes to Zary, a short-term contract actually is pretty logical, right? Because I think he has some knee issues, and he only played 54 games due to injury. I would give him a one-year contract and pay him a little more just to get him signed. Now, we haven't really heard too many rumors about him actually even negotiating much with the Flames. Now, that doesn't mean that it isn't happening. It still very well could be happening. But, I mean, hopefully we start to hear more about this. Because very rarely, I mean, it can, drag on, and some guys do even miss training camp. And some of training camp. I mean, guys sometimes will miss months of the season. I mean, it's very rarely, but it has happened before. And I'm telling you, when you miss that much of the season, it is going to affect your season. So Connor Zary, I would probably just try to work something out with the Flames and say, hey, listen, let's work something out. I want to have a hell of a season. Let's hope he has a full and healthy season as well. That's very important. And then we'll go from there. But I think I'm going to end the video here, guys. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.